And welcome back to another installment of Cafe Lily, or your host, Rosa and Kelsey. Kelsey and Rosa.
Hello, Rosa. Would you like to play a guessing game with me?
No.
Okay, fine. I'll just.
No, let's play. Let's play it.
Okay, let's play it. So, the backstory to this is I had one of those thoughts. I thought, I wonder if anyone out there has made a Revolutionary Girl Utena AMV set to the song Hounds of Love by Kate Bush. So I looked it up and it turns out there isn't one. But I did find a playlist of Utena AMVs. And I'd like you to guess how many AMVs are in this playlist.
I can try. But, that's the equivalent of, asking me how many books there were in the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit like that.
Little bit, you say.
Well, do you want me to tell you the answer then?
Good.
At time of recording, there are 1,568 Utena AMVs in this playlist. So, if you're listening to this, that's your homework. You have to go and watch them all. And if you don't want to watch them all, alternatively, you can go and make the Hounds of Love AMV that I was talking about in the beginning. I'll be waiting for it.
Kelsey's waiting. Don't disappoint.
We're doing another Utena episode.
As we do, since we're both Yuri Brain and stuff.
Uh-huh. I mean, when you think about it, life is one long Utena episode, so it always comes back to this.
Anyways, why are we talking about Utena again?
Because we watched 2 of the Utena musicals.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
This has been on our to-do list for a very long time. We wanted to watch them.
And we did.
We did.
And oh boy, that was fun.
Yeah, they were both enjoyable in different ways. The first one is the original Utena musical from 1997. This one is Takarazuka inspired, so all the roles were played by women.
Very powerful.
Yes, it's very fitting for something like Utena. And I found out later that the performer who plays Utena in that one, Yu Daiki, used to be in Takarazuka, and she even played Oscar in Rose of Versailles.
And history would repeat itself.
So what did you think of this one? How did this stack up to the TV anime and the movie that we watched before?
Well, obviously, it's just a musical, so they have to shorten it, and this is true for both musical, but they only adapted up to Utena's Duel to get Anti back. Which is a good arc to cover.
Yeah, it makes for a very uplifting story if you just end it there.
Right.
Which I think we commented on when we were watching it.
Yes.
It ends with this musical number of Anthe and Utena thanking each other and talking about how they love each other, and then they embrace, and it's like, oh, that's nice. Nothing bad ever happened to them after that.
Yeah, and Akia is supposedly normal.
Well, I don't know about that. You were having an experience when Akio showed up.
It is another one of Akia's manipulation tactics.
Is it?
Here's the thing. If it was just actual Akio, I would go ill. But Akio was being played by a very handsome woman who looks amazing in that outfit. It's the unfortunate part.
Uh-huh.
It's all the actress. That's it.
Yes, of course. We do not support Akio on this show.
No, not at all. Not at all. Taking your fate, you don't deserve this.
It's very funny the way he shows up, though. Utena's at her lowest moment. She's like, I can't do anything. And then Akio just shows up, never been in the show before. And he's like, no, believe in yourself. And Utena turns around and goes, oh, Akio! Like they've known each other all this time.
Oh, Akio!
I would never say that if I saw Akio.
No respect for Akio. But yeah, it was a very fun time. I love the fact that they added in Choo Choo.
Yeah, Choo-Choo was there at one point, huh?
Yeah, they just had a bit for Choo Choo.
I think my favourite performer in this cast was Anthe's performer. She had such a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, of course.
Really fit the character.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so lovely.
I tried to look up that actress, and it turns out she hasn't really been in much else, which is a shame, but she was in Time Ranger, so that's fun.
Guess you should say it was a role of a lifetime, being Anthe.
Yeah, definitely.
We also got to see many iconic characters.
Yes, of course. They don't really show up that much. The rest of the student council don't show up that much in this one, unfortunately.
Yeah. And they cut out, like, Mickey's fight.
Yeah, Mickey, this just wasn't his time.
No, and I won't say it got better for Mickey, but I feel like I have some things to say about the casting.
Yes, Mickey does appear more in the second musical.
Yeah. But I think I like how both of these are like very small scale, but like or at least very theatrical with what they got. The castle in this one, the first one we watched, it's very I gotta say it's like, yep, small scale production. It's very silly looking, but like, respect it.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have much of a budget to make a set, and the castle is just a cardboard cutout with the castle painted on it, which...
Yeah. Which is saying it's like, not knocking on it, but it's like, it's kind of silly. Ooh, and like, the sword Utena uses, the prop sword, it's like, the sword of Dios, it's like, oh my god, it looks so dinky. But like, that's like, show production. And of course, this group was very passionate.
Yeah, it was an excellent show.
Yeah, very excellent. It was such a fun time, and like, just a banger. They're all giving their all.
And they sing Zettai Unmei Mokushiroku.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it as like theatrical or like flashy as the other. It's still just a wonderful time to watch though.
Yeah, it was fun watching it. We watched it together with some of our friends, and everyone was like, clapping and cheering when Utena and Anthe hug at the end.
Yeah. We were so happy for them.
Do you have anything else to say on this one, or should we move on to the second one?
I would say definitely recommend it. I would definitely want to see more shows like this.
Yeah, definitely. We should watch some Takarazuka sometime.
Yeah, we should watch the Ace Attorney one.
We gotta check that out.
We gotta.
Okay.
Let's talk about the next one. The 2018.
Yes, we did watch the 2018 one, which has a sequel. It has one that was in 2019, which covers the gay therapy arc. We might watch that one at a later date, but we watched the first one, which covers the student council arc.
Which is such a funny arc.
Yeah, it's, same sort of story setup. What did you think of this one?
Now, they really turned up the acting to like an 11, 12 even. It's like, it's a lot more over-exaggerated, and even though it's like less of the background setting, I think they were kind of like very clever with like the shadows.
Yes, the backgrounds were entirely in silhouette, which was very effective, and it fits the aesthetics of Utena.
Yeah, it was very clever about that. Yeah, like there was, I would say, I like to say it has a bigger cast, but I feel like it has a more active cast. It takes the characters and actually covers their story within a short time frame, and it was very, very well done because they managed to fit it well.
Yeah, well, this one was twice as long as the 97 one.
Yeah, that's true. It had that benefit.
I feel like the cast was kind of a mixed bag, though.
That's true. But Nanami carried it.
Nanami was amazing.
Right? They gave her own song. And, oh my god!
Nanami gets a song all about how great she is.
Yeah, this actress knew who Nanami was. It was like, time to give the best performance ever.
She was incredible. Standout of the show. I looked her up. Arisa Suzuki. She also hasn't really been in much else. Such a shame.
Yeah. But god, she loves that role of Nanami.
She really became Nanami in that moment. Other than Nanami though, I don't want to be mean, but none of the men in this cast could sing.
Yeah. Mickey was the worst.
Oh, poor Mickey. Sorry to this guy. Sorry if he's like a popular actor or something and people are fans of him.
Like, Mickey's actor's like really, really good and really fun. But like, when it comes to the singing, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
They should have had to practice the octaves a lot more.
Yeah, it made me wonder if maybe Takarazuka style is the correct approach for telling Utena's story.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Because it also, like, misses the point of, like, Mickey.
Mm.
Because, like, just like the dub, they gave Mickey, like, a deep voice, which is, like, I feel like that defies the point of Mickey.
Exactly, yes.
Like, I think the important depiction of Mickey is, like, Mickey having, like, a more softer, higher pitch, younger voice. A bit feminine, too, I think. But other than that, like, the guy's acting was still great. There was a fun segment where like Utena and friends were like talking about food, and then Mickey comes over and is like, "Hey, you're supposed to be studying. You're supposed to be studying. Look at your grades." And the acting was just great. Everyone had like amazing acting.
Yeah, it was very good.
Auntie's actor was really great. When she did like the laugh, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, she was great. Anthe was great. Utena was pretty good as well. Wakaba was another standout. She was amazing.
Absolutely. Remember her scream when she saw Utena in like the feminine uniform?
I mean, same. If I saw that, I would have screamed too.
Yes, absolutely. It absolutely embodies like everyone's reaction to that. But like, since it was a longer production, it got more time to like properly convey and adapt like what goes on in Utena. So we got both Mickey's story and Yuri's story.
Uh-huh.
And their fights at the same time, which really works out. Because, again, it shows Utena finally gets two ideas.
Yeah. It was a great way to condense time and also to show the parallels.
Right. It's like it perfectly encapsulates that. And absolutely comes in and, like, emphasize the silliness of, like, Utena, too.
Yeah, the fights were pretty good. They were very well choreographed in this one.
Oh, definitely. The props are, like, funny looking, too. They, like, make them, like, bigger, more saturated.
Yeah, the Sword of Dios is massive.
It really seems like they had a lot more time to, like, set these up.
And the music in this one was a lot more sort of modern pop style instead of musical theatre. And it worked for Utena. I mean, it's kind of like anime music style, but they did still sing Zettai Unmei Mokushidoku, and that's what it's all about.
Of course. It's all about that. Like, I feel like all the little poppy music is, like, fun to dance to.
Yeah. I was a little bit confused about the staging sometimes, though. I feel like...
Oh, yes.
I feel like this is what people who don't like musicals think happens in musicals. Like, Utena and Anthe are having a moment where they're singing to each other about their feelings, and there's just someone off to the side doing an interpretive dance.
Oh, yes.
It was so funny.
It's like... There was, like, moments where, like, they also, like, squish, like, moments from the adapted moments in the anime, and they, like, have them happen simultaneously, which can be a little confusing for some.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it works in a narrative sense, but, like, it can be confusing.
Yeah, overall, this one was still a very good musical, too.
Absolutely. It was such a fun time.
Yeah, and I think we should definitely watch the sequel at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Like, gay therapy.
Yes, we need to watch Gay Therapy live on stage.
Absolutely. Which is an arc that may or may not have happened.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
But definitely, if you're an Utena fan, check out these musicals. You'll have a fun time.
You'll love Nanami. Oh my god, and then there was a moment with Flop Boy.
Saionji.
Yes, Sanji. And when he took kidnapped Anthe to... in hopes of like the palace coming down, it was such a funny bit. He was like getting clown on, like, come down upon me, and it's like he's just waiting.
That actor was so funny.
Right? It was so good. You could tell, like, Auntie's actress was having such a hard time trying not to laugh.
Yeah, it was so good.
My God, it's like, yes, it absolutely understood that character. Suanji is such a clown. Really good show.
Yeah, really good. Definitely recommend these two musicals to fans of Utena.
Okay, so quick Precure update. I'm sure you all been waiting to hear about my thoughts, and here it is. I think if Laura and Takumi were to meet, Laura would kill him.
Are you going to give any context as to what this is about?
Okay, jokes aside, the voices for Laura and Takumi, one from Tropical Rouge and the other from Delicious Party, both got married.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations to them. So I've seen people doing little jokes in comics about like how Laura and Takumi are married, and you see Yui like, what's going? What's going on? Or like just not caring and eating a rice, and then Manatsu crying, which is like, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
And speaking of Precure, guess who finished another one for Petals and Leaf?
Who could it be?
I did.
Oh, congratulations.
Woo. So, inspired from some brainstorming, I did a short little 2-pager called Crept Into My Heart. It's about Seo Ichika spending a bit of time together. You should check it out on Petal and Leaf.
It's very cute. Everyone should go check it out. Everyone should go on pedalandleaf.neocities.org and check out the comics on there. And we've got more coming.
Yeah, more coming. One might be dirt related. But yeah, make sure to check that out. Reviews were in for that one, and it was good, so good that it made Luna explode.
Sorry to our friend Luna.
Rest in peace, Luna. So, Kelsey, I think we talked about all the year you wanted to talk about today. Don't think we're forgetting anything, right?
Yeah, nothing to my knowledge. I didn't watch anything else.
I don't know. Double check that whiteboard of yours.
Yeah. Wait, no, hold on. Second from the bottom. Otona Precure.
Do we really have to? I mean, all I've seen is like the screenshot. It's not like anyone in this cafe has seen Otona Precure, like the entirety.
I have.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I've seen all of this show.
Why do you do this to yourself?
You see, it was interesting. It was an interesting idea. I was like, oh, they're adults now, and now they're doing adult problems. I can't wait to see what they do.
Tell us about it, since we haven't. I've only seen like the second, I think, and then the Kurume Karen episode, and then all the Sakimai's moments.
Well, I would describe it as failed potential, disappointing, and a lot of... I don't know why they did this. Because past the first episode, it kind of like immediately nosedives in quality. The first episode was fairly gripping. It's like Nozomi, she's a teacher now. She's the main character. She can't just transform into a funny little like cartoon character who punches bad guys in weird blobs and then everything's okay. She's teaching this child who needs help at home. And there's nothing really she can do to really help her. She's doing her best, but I mean, her dad's a deadbeat. Everything's falling apart for this kid, and she's just doing her best. And you're like, wow, this is like an adult story. And then Shadow Monsters appears, and she turns into a 13-year-old again for some reason. And then she starts fighting Shadow Monsters. And it was kind of cool at first in the first episode, but then every episode is like, remember this one for the show. Here she is again. For some reason, they weren't talking to each other. And now here's all their problems as adults, and all their problems just got more and more like they didn't really think about them. It was like more, here's an idea. Like there was one where Karen's a doctor. She was the blue one. She has to help a child regain the ability to walk again. She's going to rehab. That was pretty interesting. And then everyone else, it was just like really flimsy ideas and concepts, and we just kind of stopped caring, and we're just making fun of how poorly animated it was. every background object and extra was a CGI model, and it was so obvious and stood out.
No, that's a shame.
It's just you would think for like to bring these legacy characters back, these well-loved popular characters, they would care, but it felt like they were obligated to make this. I hadn't actually seen Splash Star, so I didn't know. Every time they like made a reference, I'm just like, okay, because they add almost nothing. They literally do nothing in the show, in the new one.
I'm kind of like shocked that they didn't bring back like or mention like Saki's sister, Minori. Like, what's she doing? I like to hear what she's doing. Like, she's the sister. Like, why is she not around?
What was like shocking was like, I know like the biggest thing with the fans of this show is like they would ship the main two together, and like this show aggressively was like, no, no, no.
Oh, it's so what? It's like they first show up and they reveal like, oh yeah, they have boyfriends and one of them's engaged.
That's like a weird thing about it. Like I feel like it's not like a bad angle to go at it, because like I mean they were just kids in the original one. Maybe they moved on, maybe they moved somewhere else, you know, that's life. But like, and then like they introduced that the other one's engaged. They never show who it is, they never give him a name, and they pretty much don't mention him besides like 3 more times very briefly, and I'm like, why did they do that?
Only in flashbacks.
It was so funny because at the end of it, there's this scene because she wants to be a big pastry chef. She's about to go to France. She's about to make this big leap in life. She's going to go to France to learn under this pastry chef that's world famous. And like, what's so funny about it is nobody comes to the airport to see her off. Her fiance's not there. And I'm just like, what? Why?
Okay, here's a funny thing about it. I saw the wiki today. Unfortunately, I was looking for a reference and it says here, oh, in families. Oh, her mom, dad, her sister, and then fiance. There's his nickname, and you click on it, it's in minor characters.
Oh my god. Like, I don't know why they even bothered setting that up if they weren't going to do anything with it. Like, it wasn't even a major part of, like, because, like, she had, like, hesitation. She's like, I want to work at my family store, but I want to learn overseas and then come back and be better than ever. But I don't want to leave my she cared more about her family store. Her fiance was, like, not even part of the equation, really.
Andrew understand this. Someone found a tweet by like one of the directors or writer or one of the staff members who worked on the project, and they said specifically, "The future is not set. This is one of many."
I love the idea that there's these underground resistance fighters in the trenches for this series going, no, this sucks too. I'm sorry, everyone. You don't have to believe it. It's not real. There's just so much they did wrong with this. That's the thing too. Just like first they did that with Splash Star, and then like even the Yes Precure 5 ones, like they did nothing. They did nothing. Even the people who liked like all the like ships the show brought forward with like there's this guy named Knots, there's this guy named Coco, they liked some of the magical girls in it, and there was also this bird boy in the sequel series that I didn't finish watching. He liked the yellow one whose name is Lemonade. I think that's funny. And here's the thing, the people who liked that part of the show, because you know just it's fine. They're like kids when they watch this. Don't think about it. But even the people who liked it hated this because they did nothing with that. They did nothing. Like, I was just kind of shocked because like I thought they would explore more with the characters. Where they are now, and then like, okay, Coco's back. Why weren't they doing anything? Why weren't they really together? And it's just they don't really give a reason. He's just like, I have to be king of the little hamster town. And it's just like, that's it. And then they move on, and he's barely in it. He's barely in it.
And I know it doesn't even matter because I heard Milk Kurumi went back and became prime minister.
What?
And it's the funniest way to end it. But like, here's the thing with the movie, not the movie, I'm sorry, the TV series, the limited time series that we watched, that we all definitely watched, not just me, but it just slowly introduces the characters, they get their powers back, and then they try to figure out why are there shadow monsters around. And I just want to bring this up really quick, but what happens is there's this evil angel in a bell tower that's been in the town since World War II, and the aftermath. It's been trying to prevent a future where humanity destroys it with littering and like global warming, and it's this heavy-handed message out of nowhere about like, just stop polluting. It's up to us people and not the corporations to stop littering. It would show this guy, like, it's the show, like, oh, like the angel will be watching over the town. She's like, humanity is wicked. And then it would show this guy, he's littering, he's throwing garbage into the river. And then after he does it, he's like, heh, I'm so cool that I did that. And like, we're just like, what an asshole. Why did he do that? Why did he act so smug about it? It was like that non-stop throughout the whole show.
Is this a show for kids or a show for grown-ups?
I was about to say.
That's the thing that I'm confused on. I thought it was going to be aimed towards older fans of the show, but the way it's written, it feels just more like just a normal kids show. They don't really dive into anything really that deep, except for the first episode.
Yeah, like I saw the first episode, like, oh my gosh, that's that's so tough, because like she tries everything and then it's like, yeah, and then it's like, no, that's the reality of it.
Yeah, and that was great, and I thought it was going to be more of that. It represents like a thing that's really funny when you look back on it, is just like, there's the red Precure, the fiery one, the Rin. Her thing was, she's trying to make some jewelry because she designs jewelry, and everyone's rejecting her designs, and she's getting really depressed about it. There's no real resolution except for at the very, very end when it's just like, okay, we like this new design you did, and that's it. The Karen one, that one actually had resolution. She helps this child with physical therapy. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was. I saw that one. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about like Kurumi going nuts over Karen.
Yeah, you know what? A funny little detail that I like to point out every time I watched it was like, if you watch the credits of the show, it flashes by all the characters, but they also show like the characters they had like some kind of like thing with. Like it shows Nozomi with Coco, and he's in his little hamster form. It shows the green one with like knots. When it cuts to Karen, it shows her with Milk.
It's like, oh, here are their boyfriends. And then here's, okay, I guess that's her girlfriend then.
It felt like they wanted to, but they were cowards. And it was like, that would have been really great if it paid off in any way, but you don't really see that.
Paid off how? Paid off how?
Like if something happened after, oh, like are they dating? Because like, nobody really gets together with anyone except for the very last minute.
I don't think even Saki got with her fiance.
The show kind of reaches a climax at some point where they realize every time they transform into 13-year-olds, so they could reuse the same animation again for their attacks and transformations, so they could save even more money on this show they spent no money on. They realize every time they do this, they're draining the power from some time flower that lets them revert back in time to how they used to be. And it's slowly going to kill them. So they have to resolve this matter with this angel that's turning everyone to shadow monsters as soon as possible. Oh, I just want to bring up, so every time like this would happen, it would be something related to what's happening around the cures. Like the Karen one was like, there was this terrible doctor who's like, hey, you're trying to help that kid. She doesn't want help. Don't do your job. who cares? And like that guy was so negative, he turned into a shadow monster, stuff like that. And same thing with Nozomi, the child's that she was teaching. Like her father was being such a piece of shit that he became this negative monster, shadow monster man. She had to beat that up to save this kid and make her life not like a living nightmare. And it was like all this stuff, and like but like it got kind of like lazy as it went on. Like it just, when it came to Saki and Mai, they had like this tree that they went to that I guess it was really important in the original show.
No, it was very important. That's the tree where they first met when they were like little kids. And then that was the tree where they met again as like teenagers. And that's when they met their fairies. And that's when they became precures. And that's the tree to go to
pray, I guess.
That tree is like super important to those two. That's their gay spot.
I know we mostly been talking about the Splash Star ones, but I just want to bring this up. They did not mention the little fairy things they had in that show at all. I don't even know if they had them until you mentioned it.
Oh, I think that's because one of the voice actors passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think even in All Stars, they've retired those fairies because I think Flappy's voice actor passed away.
Not Choppy. Choppy.
Oh, huh.
But like, I think the thing is they would, regardless, they would like sideline like transformation fairies because
they can't turn into hot boys.
And plus like in the tier list of like fairies, those would be in the lower ones.
Nobody liked them.
It's less that no one likes them. It's less that like they're not high on the scale like memorable fairies.
I see.
Because like when you got fairies like Hummy, Prunes, and Kururum, it'll mean like how do you compete? Oh, even what's their name? The illegal bear.
Mofurun.
Yeah, Mofurun. The one that like harmed Yokai Watch. That's like tiers of fairies you like want to keep up there.
Okay, I was a little confused on that, and I was just like, well, shouldn't there be more going on here? But what was really funny about the Saki and Mai part, whenever it cut to them, was there's just these assholes on the top of this hill looking at the tree. They're like, we have to chop down that tree. We could put condos up there, and a hotel, and a resort. We're gonna build all over this natural area. And they laugh, and then they would get attacked and turn into shadow monsters. And you would think, okay, you would think that this is just a one-time thing. It happens like 3 or 4 more times. The same guys looking at the same tree.
Same guy.
It's every time. And every time they appeared, these were our new favorite characters. Because it's like, they couldn't even think of something to do for Saki and Mai. It's just these same assholes.
It just seems like overall they didn't have the confidence in the show they were making. Like they could have gone all in on the adult problems, adult situations, but they didn't have the confidence in that because then they wouldn't have the girls transforming and they couldn't sell new acrylic stands of the Precures. And I think even though in theory the show was for the adult fans, I think they also wanted to keep it for the kids as well, just in case the kids wanted to watch it, so they couldn't really go all in on the adult side.
Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. Like they tried doing half and half.
What happened with like the green one, Komochi? What was her deal? What was Aurora's?
Okay, so when it got to Komochi, the green one, she was Kierman. Her thing in the original show was she was a writer. She wanted to write stuff, novels, books, plays, all that good stuff. In this one, they kind of put that aside. Right now, she's just running community service, helping out like with the neighborhood, restoring buildings and all that stuff. It's running organized events, and it's just like, okay. I mean, life happens. Where you're going in life, it's never like what you were doing when you were 13. You'll probably change a few ideas here and there, so that's fine. But like, I don't think she even had a problem. I think someone littered, and then a shadow monster appeared. She's like, I gotta stop littering now.
I mean, her not having a lot going on seems pretty accurate to how she was in her original show. Sorry, Komachi.
Yeah, and it's just like I thought they would do something, and then there was that Knots guy. She kind of had like a one-sided, unrequited thing with him, and I thought, oh, maybe they'll do something with that. I mean, they're adults now. It's still a little weird. He's a hamster squirrel or something, and she's like 20 now, but he never. I don't think he even spoke to her more than once in this, and it was like, huh, why did they set that up? And that's the thing. They would set up all these random things, and then they wouldn't do anything with it. And the only episode, like, past the first two that really landed was the Urara one. And, like, her episode was fine, but it didn't feel like an adult problem. She's cast in this play, this live stage, like, I don't know, I can't remember if it was, like, a big Broadway, like, kind of production, or if it was just kind of like a small town, like, amateur actor time play, but her thing is she couldn't act the part accurately. She kept failing, and she had a strict director that wasn't liking her performance, and she was close to getting cut. And I just feel like this is something like you could do in a high school setting or a middle school setting still, and I'm like, this doesn't really feel adult or, you know, that interesting still.
They do that episode with every Precure who's an actor.
Yeah, just like you could cut this one, put it in any of them. The only interesting part was the bird boy showed up, and then like noticed she was depressed, and they hung out all day, and then like he helped her like get out of the funk, and then they worked together to fight the shadow monster, which is like the most any guy has done in Yes Precure 5. Oh, and this is just a complete aside. Just in the middle of the show, before Coco enters the picture, they start talking about Nozomi and Coco, and how Coco and Nozomi were like, oh, they were such a cute couple, why don't they hang out anymore? You know, they were like destined to be together. And then it hard cuts to Coco, and he's in the little hamster fairy kingdom, and then he just starts going Coco, 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 and it's just like the hard cut from them going, they were destined to be together. And then they show the guy that she's destined to be with, and he's this stupid little hamster just going Coco, Coco, Coco. And it's like during this exposition scene, so you just hear him say Coco like 30 times, and we were crying laughing, because like we were waiting for him to show up, and this is his big moment.
Why does it feel like they thought this was stupid?
That's how it felt. It felt like they didn't like this. Oh, I loved it. Another thing is, like, when Coco finally joins the scene, him and Nozomi are like distant from each other, and you're like, okay, they're gonna get together, but what are they gonna talk it out? What's gonna happen on screen? You're like wondering, where's this gonna go? And then they don't interact. They don't talk to each other. Every time he appears, he's just suddenly there. It's like a jump scare. And then me and my friend, while we were watching it, every time he appears, we're like, who the hell does he think he is? Get him out of here. Get this loser out. We hate him.
Boo.
Yeah, it's just us booing. Because like he would just suddenly be there. And then there's just like a scene where he would try to talk to her late into the show, like near the end, like he would say something to her like, we can't be together because I don't believe in long distance relationships and I have to be a hamster king.
Okay.
And then she's just like, God damn it, just why not? We can make it work. I'm a teacher and I'm full time. It's fine. There's still time. All this stuff. That turned out to be the big problem. Was just like he wasn't sure he would have enough time to spend with her, and that was it. Oh my god! It just after that scene, every time Coco was like there, we would just start yelling, "Get away from her!" It was like if you were at a movie theater, and then like a character nobody likes appears and everyone's throwing their popcorn at the screen. That was me and my friend watching the show. God, where was I? See, like, not a lot happened, really. Because, like, as it went on, like, the episodes specifically for each cure was, like, flimsier and flimsier. Like, this is just an episode of a normal pre-cure with 10-year-olds or something. This isn't an adult problem anymore. This isn't anything. And then, like, I can't really remember, but I remember eventually at the end, the evil, like, angel witch thing that was trying to save the town by getting rid of all humanity, replacing them with shadows, suddenly creates an ultimatum like, okay, fine, I'm going to stop you guys once and for all. It makes a giant Godzilla monster and, like, the Godzilla monster starts going out of control, and then she's just like, oh shit, my bad, I didn't want to destroy the town, I just wanted to kill everyone. And then the Precures at this point are nearly drained out of all their, like, life force because they keep transforming to stop her, and they're barely beating this Godzilla monster. And then the original ones show up last minute. They're like, we're contractually obligated to be here, hello.
Yeah.
They're just here now. And then there's, like, a third one. I forgot about that. She's, like, blonde.
Her name is Larry.
Larry mentioned.
So Slurry's there too. She sends them all with the Godzilla monster into an alternate dimension to fight, and then she just talks to the witch for a second, like, "Hey, why are you doing this?" And the witch is like, "I don't know anymore. Kind of lost the plot. My bad."
And, like, what happens?
Let me tell you what happens. They show up in their, like, 13-year-old cure forms to fight, and then after they beat the Godzilla monster, you don't see them again. They're just like, they're actually off to stop global warming in Antarctica, and they literally say
what?
that, and it's so funny.
Yeah, I heard that one is in the Arctic and the other is in the Amazon, and Larry is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they forgot she exists again, and they just move on. They're like, yeah, we can't show you them. Toei won't let us. We have, they're too important.
It's so funny to me that those three, or just like Nagisa and Honoka in particular, because they never want to remember Larry exists. But it's funny to me that those two are treated like, oh, they're the originals. They are so much more powerful. They're like mentors to all the others. When if you are following the timeline of, like, each season happened chronologically, they're only a year older than all the others. That's it's not that much.
Even then, they're also still, like, younger than, like, the oldest cure. Like, I guess technically, I know Cure is technically, like, biologically the oldest, because she's, like, 20s? A 1-year-old 20? And then second to that is, like, Cure Butterfly.
Yeah, because if you're following the rules of the All-Stars movies, then they're not the oldest. They just exist in the same time as all of them, so why would they be their mentors?
I zoned out, and I was like, wait, how old is the original show anyway? And I just realized that they would probably... the two main leads in this would be about my age, 32? Oh my god. They could have did so much with this, like a 32-year-old, like, magical superhero jumping around trying to do their old, antics they did when they were, like, 13, and they could jump up and down for, like, all day and not get tired. And now I'm like, if I jump up and down twice, I gotta sit down. Yeah.
Andrew, if you're the same age as Cure Black and Cure White, why aren't you off stopping global warming in Antarctica?
You're right. We all gotta stop littering in this little town.
And they're not even, like, 30, they're, like, 26 as old as me. I'm like, shit, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Why aren't you learning to bake bread in France?
Wait. Hold on, I have to say goodbye to Ryan at the airport and tell her, have fun making bread in France while I wait for you here.
Got it. We kind of just jumped to the Godzilla monster, but I have to emphasize again, nothing really happens after they all get their powers back, and even then the plots were getting weaker. throughout the show, since like they were draining their life force, Nozomi kept feigning every time she transformed at a certain point, and it was like reaching a point where they're like, if you transform again, you will die. And then she almost dies fighting the Godzilla monster. And like she passes out, she's in a coma, they're taking care of her at the hospital, and then she wakes up. Coco's like, come back, you can't leave. We'll make it work. Long distance, I can make it work. And then she finally wakes up. She's like, thank you, let's get married. And then it cuts to this montage while the credits music plays, where they're all at now. And for some reason, Rin's in Africa, it seems. I don't know why.
Is she stopping global warming there?
She designs jewelry. What I don't get it. And then it cuts to like the others, and like I think the green one, Kirment, I always forget her name. It doesn't matter. But she's just picking up litter. Karen's helping out at the hospital. And then it cuts to Kurumi. Like, she's just like, you know what? I'm sick of my terrible office job and my office boss. I'm going to become the prime minister of my own country. And then her boss is like, what the fuck? She leaves. She goes to the fairy world. She's like, hello, we've had a monarchy for a while, but I want to try this new thing called democracy. And if you elect me, I will, as your prime minister, I'm going to do things to help individuals. And they're like, we could use more roads. And then she's like, yeah, we could do that. And then she just girl bosses her way into kicking Coco and Knots out of their political position. And then it continues the montage of where everyone's at now, and it shows the Coco and Nozomi wedding. But this part we had to pause on the frame because we were laughing so hard. You're like, it just first shows a shot from a distance, you only see their silhouettes, and then it shows them at the wedding. They're waving, she's in her dress and everything, and it shows them together. But Coco's in a stupid little hamster form, so she married him when he's in his hamster form. And we were crying. We were like suffocating because like the whole show was like kind of building up to an ultimate resolution on like what was going on between them. And this is the shot they show us. This is the last shot you see of them. This is it. And he's in his stupid fucking hamster form. I want you to know that like every time I feel bad or I'm having a bad day at work, I just think about that and I just start laughing at myself. Oh, it's not great. It's not a great show. Not a great show, but listen, you need to go into it and watch it anyway. Especially if you need something to laugh at, it's just bad. just make fun of every aspect.
Well, I'm still not going to watch it, but thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you so much for explaining us to this, Andrew.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
It was great.
Thank you so much. So you're gonna pay for the drinks, the cafe.
Oh God. I should get out of here. I should.
Oh, he left.
He's gonna have to apologize to lesbians again.
I'm sorry, lesbians.